morning, Algebra 1 periods 1, 6, and 7. Guess what? Today is Thursday, the 21st of May. Isn't that great? All right, this is Maze, and guess who finally got a haircut? Yeah. All right, coming at you from room 308. Today is Thursday, the 21st of May. I've selected 4 problems to put on the board for you. I'm very concerned about your comprehension of this material. So far, your CFCs have been disappointing, to say the least. And some of you are Googling answers, and it's super obvious because to find the equation of the parabola, they're telling you to do it using something called reduced row echelon form, and you're getting the 3 equations, then you're just popping out the answers. So I Googled it, and come to find out, I found out exactly what some of you are doing, and let's not do that anymore. So I'm going to show you another example of how to solve this problem, along with an area problem for a rectangle, an area problem for a triangle, and then anyway, Sideshow Bob is going to throw some stuff up in the air, and then we're going to find the equation of a parabola given a couple of points, 3 of them actually, and 2 of them are the x-axis intercepts. All right, so here we go. So here's the first problem. It says find the perimeter, given that the width is 4x and the length is 2x plus 1, and the area is 24. All right. Now some of you, once again, getting cute, and you're telling me, yep, find a perimeter. Well, there it all is. You just add it up and you say it's 12x plus 2. Well, if we were in 6th grade, I'd probably buy that, but we're not. We're high school students in Algebra 1, and we're nearly complete, and we need to demonstrate some understanding of the quadratic form and what to do with it. About half of you don't have a clue. So hopefully this will help, because I'm really trying to get you over this hurdle. All right, so the area of a rectangle. We all know the area of a rectangle is length times width is equal to the area, so it's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to say that the area, 24, is equal to the length times the width, okay? Now you know that 24, you're going to do a little distributing there, is 8x squared plus 4x. Now set this equal to 0 and solve. All right, set it equal to 0 and solve, okay? So now if you subtract 24 from both sides, you get 8x squared plus 4x minus 24. Now you can divide by 4. Clean things up, okay? Because 0 divided by 4 is still 0. So now you have this. 0 is equal to 2x squared plus x minus 6. And I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Okay, you could probably factor this, but let's use the quadratic formula. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, and C is equal to negative 6. Okay? Now, if you plug that in, clean it up, that's what you get. Now, we all know what the square root of 49 is, right? 7. So, x is equal to negative 1 plus 7 divided by 4. Obviously, x cannot be negative 2. That's not going to work. All right, so x is equal to 3 halves. Now that you know that x is equal to 3 halves, now all of you young Einsteins that said that the perimeter was 12x plus 2, you can put your 3 halves in there, and you can tell me that the perimeter is actually equal to 20 units. Okay? All right. You have a triangle. I'm going to tell you that the area of the triangle is 11 halves centimeters squared. And you're thinking, oh my God, he gives us a fraction. All right, well, how do you find the area of a triangle? The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. So do exactly the same thing as you did on a rectangle. The area, 11 halves, is equal to 1/2 times the base times the height. Now, it's kind of nice that we have 2's on both sides, that equal sign, don't we? So multiply both sides by 2. Now you have 11 is equal to 4x plus 1 times 2x plus 5, FOIL, set it equal to 0, divide it by 2, and you have this. 0 is now equal to 4x squared plus 11x minus 3. Now once again, I know you could factor this, but don't use the quadratic formula, okay? A is equal to 4, B equals equal to 11, and C is equal to negative 3. Plug it in, simplify, clean it up. The square root of 169 is 13. You should know that. Negative 11 plus 13, all divided by 8, and x is equal to 1/4. okay? Now, what the problem it's going to read, it says, give the dimensions of the triangle. Well, now you know that x is 1/4. You know that the base is 4x plus 1. So what's a fourth of 4? 1 plus 1. The base is 2. And the height, 2 times 1/4 plus 5, 11 halves centimeter high. Isn't that amazing how the area and the height are the same thing? You know, I got lucky on that one. All right, now, here we go. Sideshow Bob, okay? That's Sideshow Bob. He's got the funky hair and the big feet and everything, all right? Sideshow Bob is going to throw something up into the air, and it's going to land, okay? Now, we're going to use this equation right here. You should be familiar with this now. H sub t, in other words, the height after some time t is equal to negative 16t squared plus v sub naught t plus s sub naught. And what the v sub naught means, that's the initial velocity. And the s sub naught, that's the initial height. Okay? So, if you know the initial velocity and the initial height, you plug them in. Well, in our case, the initial velocity is 40 and the initial height is 4. So you plug those in, and you get h sub t is equal to negative 16t squared plus 40t plus 4. Now notice that this time I did not give you numbers all cleanly divisible by 16. Man, what a jerk. All right, but I can divide it by 4. Okay? So, and now what this does, now you got to be careful here. When you decide to divide this by 4, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find when this thing goes splat, whatever it is Sideshow Bob threw up. That's what I'm going to find, okay? Now, if I'm going to find the maximum height, or, you know, maximum height and when, ooh, be careful, okay? We're going to find splat first, all right? So there's my splat, negative 4t squared plus 10t plus 1, okay? So here's the when splat, okay? A, B, and C. Coefficient negative 4, coefficient 10, 1. Plug it in. Clean it up. 116. I started dividing by squares, and lo and behold, 4 goes into 116 29 times. And the square root of 4 is 2. So I get 2 square roots of 29. Simplify that. And it goes splat in 2.596 seconds, okay? That's when it hits the ground. Sideshow Bob throws it up, okay? Hits the ground, all right? All right, now, initial velocity 40, and the initial height was 4 feet. Okay, that's when the height of the ground at which Sideshow Bob released was 4 feet. Now, how high and when? Well, the when part of it is I need the vertex. So I start with my original equation, okay? To find the vertex, you've got to use the original equation. Don't go in dividing stuff because that'll foul you up. Your parabola will be way too short. Okay, so go to the original equation to find the vertex, all right? So I picked my negative b over 2a, and the when is 5/4 seconds. How high? You take the when and you plug it in. So the h of 5/4, everywhere you see a t, you put 5/4, and you will find that the height is 29 feet. Okay? All right. Now finally, and I've got a minute to do this. Here's your points. There's a third point. Work backwards. I'm going to take that 2 value, x minus 2, x minus 6, I need a. I take the third point that I know, I put it in for x and y, and a is 3. Then I take my 3, I put it over there, I FOIL, I distribute, and there's the equation of my parabola, all right? For those of you that are doing a reduced row echelon form, knock it off, okay? I know you're Googling answers. That's how I want that. Take your factors, take your a, clean it up. Where did I get the x minus 2? Well, remember, if x is 2, if you subtract 2 from both sides, you get x minus 2 is equal to 0. If x is 6, you subtract 6 from both sides, and x minus 6 is equal to 0. Those are your factors. and then you plug in the x and y of that third point. All right? That's all you have to do for that. Now, isn't that nice? So for those of you that are doing reducer echelon 4, I'm sending it back to you. I'm going to tell you to play by the rules. And if you have any questions, go to page 453. All right, we're a little long on this one. I hope it posts. Okay, that's all I got for right now. More to follow. Please watch the videos and do your own work. And I'll go from there. All right, good luck. May's out.